Hey, what's going on? So I got another question for my Ask Me Anything, which is cool. I haven't had one in a little while, so people give me some damn questions. This one comes from aspiring author Ronald, who asks, "What does my family think of my writing?" And that's a good question. I'm very lucky in the fact that even at a very young age, my mother really encouraged me and pushed me to write. And I mean, to this day, she's still a prolific reader. She reads several books a week, mostly horror paperbacks, although she does a lot of thrillers. And she pretty much, I mean, my mother reads Amish romance mysteries, if you can believe it. She basically just loves to sit down and read a book. And she's also the one who taught me to have basically a book in every room and carry a book with you and all that, which is pretty cool. So she is very supportive. My father was supportive, but my dad's not much of a reader, which is funny. My brother takes after my father. Neither of them really read unless they had to, and so it's crazy that I read so much, like my mom, and so that's cool. My kids are older now, which is funny. My son's 25. My daughters are 24 and 20, about to be 21, and they they're not big readers. Even as kids, when I tried to get them to read, when I read books to them, I mean, I read books where I told them a story every night. They didn't really take to it, which is awful. And so I'm not sure what they've read or haven't read. I mean, I know for a long time it was the fact that I wrote some extreme horror stuff, or not really extreme, but extreme for me. And they really weren't big fans of that. And I really didn't want them to read that stuff. So I have no idea what's going on with them. I know unfortunately, it's the phone and it's video games and it's things that kids their age do today. My wife is super supportive. I mean, to the point where I don't know if I could even, I don't think I could thank her enough. She is supportive, whether it's reading, beta reading for me on a lot of stuff and telling me how crappy it is or how great it is or what needs to be fixed. It's usually not great the first time around, but let's be honest. She also she helps me with the money part of this. She helps me with the technical parts of this. She helps me with all of the other stuff besides the creative stuff. She's not a creative person per se, but she is really good with the money and all of the other stuff that goes along with this, making this a career instead of a hobby. And I'm very blessed. When I met her, I was on a high. I had just signed a big contract and I had a ton of money. I wiped out all my debt and everything else. But without her, I would probably still be living in my parents' dining room. So yeah, ask me about that. And so yeah, so she's very supportive, and I have people around me that are very supportive. Now it always hasn't been that way. Obviously, I think I've talked about this. If you've listened to Armcast podcast or the Mondo Method podcast, you know that I had a couple of failed marriages. I had a couple of people also that I was dating that were very negative towards my writing. They thought it was taking time away from them, and it really hurt my productivity and it hurt my creativity. And I went many years kind of hiding in the closet writing, even though I had gotten stuff published in the 90s. I had a big gap there, which I it's one of those. Do you have any regrets? Yeah, I wish I had saw the writing on the wall, pun intended, and gotten out of those relationships a lot earlier than I did, and continued to write. I think I would be a lot further in my career than I am right now. So, great question, Ronald. Thank you very much. If you have a question, real simple, send me a message, armandrosamilia@gmail.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, then drop me a message. If you're watching this on my Patreon, I thank you for supporting me on Patreon, and also feel free to leave a question as well. There's a thread there somewhere. All right, everybody, until next time.